If you've been thinking about contract work, or maybe you've heard the term, but you're not exactly sure what that really means, then keep watching because this video is for you. I'm going to explain and break down the key differences between the different types of contract work. But before I get to that, let me introduce myself. My name is Celeste, and on this channel, I help mid-career professional Black women build a life of freedom through flexible work. Contractor doesn't always mean the same thing. We're going to talk about the two main types and how they differ in pay structure, tax treatment, benefits, all that kind of stuff. If you see me glancing down, by the way, it's just because I'm looking at my notes. I want to make sure that I don't skip over anything important. So the first type of contract work is contracting through a staffing agency. This is also called being a W-2 contractor. And this is the kind of contract work that I do and the type of work that I talk about here on this channel. So some of the key features of this type of working arrangement are that you're an employee of the staffing agency. And I'm going to link in the description to a video that I did about staffing agencies and what they are and what that means. Secondly, your paycheck is going to come directly from the staffing agency. Another key thing to note is that your taxes are taken out of your paycheck automatically. So you not only that, but you actually, you and the employer split the Social Security and Medicare, the FICA, basically, that comes out of your paycheck. What you see is only half of it. Your employer is paying the other half. Some agencies offer benefits. So if you need health insurance or you want paid time off or a 401k, that is something that you may be able to get through a staffing agency. I'm going to link in the description to a video I did called How to Quit Your Job and Still Pay the Bills, because in that video I go into more detail about benefits through staffing agencies and how all of that works. Another thing to note is that the agency determines the rate that you get paid. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't negotiate, but they are the ones who will set the initial starting point for negotiations. And then lastly, as a W-2 contractor, you are expected to follow the employer's rules. If they have rules about what you can do with their equipment, where you can take it, what sites you can access, any other types of those rules that they have for employees, those things will go for contractors as well. So that's the first type. The second type of contracting is independent contracting, or you may hear it referred to as being a 1099 or a 1099 contractor. And so now let's get into what's involved with that. So the first thing to know is that you are self-employed. You work directly for the client. The client pays you directly. This one is a big one. No one withholds your taxes. You are responsible for setting money aside for that. Also, as an independent contractor, you have to pay all of the Social Security and Medicare taxes yourself because there is no employer to split that with. So that is a very important distinction to note if you are thinking about becoming an independent contractor. You usually don't get benefits as an independent contractor. You would be responsible for getting on a spouse's health insurance plan or securing your own through a broker or through the marketplace. And if there are any other things that you want, time off, etc., you would have to build that into your budget. That's not something that you are going to get from your client. You are responsible for finding your own clients, for negotiating your own contracts, for setting your own rates. As an independent contractor, you have full control over how, where, when the work gets done. But you also have greater responsibility. You may have to adhere to a budget or procure resources or give progress reports, different things like that. Now that you've heard all about both types of contracting, how do you know which one is right for you? A staffing agency or a W-2 contractor might be better for you if you don't want to run a business, you don't want to worry about taxes, you prefer a steady paycheck and structured work hours, and you want some kind of benefits. Being an independent contractor or a 1099 might be better for you if you want full control over your work schedule and projects, you're comfortable managing your own taxes and benefits, you don't mind dealing with invoicing, contracts, and finding clients. All right, come closer. If you just want to leave your full-time job and make some money without all the extra hassle, then I would recommend just being a contractor through a staffing agency. The transition is much easier. If you're curious about contracting through a staffing agency, but you don't know where to start, then I've got a resource for you. You can get my contracting starter checklist by going to resetwithceleste.com/checklist. And I also have that linked for you in the description. If you're ready to transition to contract work, but you need a roadmap, or maybe you just have some questions, you can book a career freedom strategy session with me at resetwithceleste.com. And finally, please like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel for more tips on using flexible work to build a life of freedom.